Hello everyone, it's Matt from Akuma Mods, back with our review of the Sidekick Additive from 3DRS. So 3DRS sent this out to me to try out, and basically it says 1 pouch plus 1 kilogram of brittle resin equals increased durability. So basically this would be comparable to like your Sidekick Tenacious. The only difference between this and Sidekick Tenacious is it's not clear. It's kind of like blue, and this is the blue that it is. So it is actually a really, really nice color if you use it just by yourself. But we decided to add it to some of this resin that Creality sent us that's very, very brittle. It's just your standard gray. It's nothing spectacular. And so we printed one of these vases. Now, obviously, they're not like flexible or anything like this model is. Like, this is a flexible resin, so it's not so much meant for flexibility, but it's meant to enhance the durability of your resins. So anybody that has really, really low grade resins, like your standard Elegoo and your standard Anycubic, your standard eSun, any of those type of things, even some of the frozen, not the ivory, but the aqua gray tends to be a little bit brittle. I've come across. So this is basically just an additive that you put in your resins, and it'll allow you to print very, very durable resins. Now, how durable that is, we'll have to see. We don't really have any scientific testing behind it, but I do have my desk, which I usually use. So so I'm just gonna kind of tap this a little bit and see if we can break off the outer edge here. As you can kind of see, I already did that a little bit, so I know it's gonna break, but we'll see if it breaks again, you know, on camera. Which, yeah, it did. So a little bit, not really too much, but let's see if we can tap it with this. So as you can see, we're kind of breaking that all away. So there's the original one that I did, and there's one that I just kind of broke away. Okay, now granted, we are using some pretty heavy duty pliers and, you know, kind of using it not the way that we're going to use resin, but it's just more or less to show you the durability factor. So this one is actually mixed. I want to say this is about 40% mixture, maybe a little bit more, maybe closer to 50, but or closer to 45, I mean. So, but we just kind of guesstimated a little bit and threw it in there. So, you know, let's go ahead and test this out and see how durable it is. So as you can see, there is a little bit of damage on there, but it's not breaking away like this model did, where we actually have chunks missing. You can kind of see. So while it does work for durability, you know, obviously this is to an extent. Now, the product actually states that we're supposed to add this entire bag to an entire kilogram of resin. We didn't do that. We did a smaller mixture, so that can even be more durable. So what I did is I went ahead and I printed it just with the Sidekick itself, which is a really, really cool blue, actually. So if you guys are looking for kind of like a frosted or clear blue, this is a really, really nice color it actually comes out in. So I'm actually kind of happy about that. So let's go ahead and test this out and see how it is. So pretty much almost no damage to the outside there. There's some little bit, obviously, because, you know, we're directly damaging the product. But for the most part, it handles almost just the same, if not a little bit better, because you could see some little pitting here and there on this model. You know, obviously it's not breaking like this model is, but it's even less on this model. So the durability factor is there. So if you guys are looking for another alternative to your Sidekick Tenacious, I do suggest checking this out. and giving this a go, because as of right now, this is a nice additive. And again, if you're looking for a really cool looking blue color, you know, this would help out a lot. To top that all off, as some of you may or may not know, with clear resins, you know, we have a problem with yellowing. And one of the things that people always say is to add some blue dye to it to allow it to, you know, cure a little bit more clearer. So you might be able to add this, and then not only that, you will also make it a little bit more durable. Obviously, you can only add so much because you're going to change the color of it, but, you know, that's to be seen. Now, I have talked with the owner of 3DRS and, you know, talked to him about the color and seeing if, you know, maybe a clear version of this would be best to be out there, because that's one of the, I think, selling points of Sidekick Tenacious. But, you know, as of right now, it's a nice additive for darker colors, for sure. If you're going to use it for clear, you know, you might be able to add a little bit blue, but it will end up changing it, because it is a pretty dark blue that it is. So, I mean, we went from gray, and this is like a lighter gray, to something that's a little bit more bluish. And like I said, this is probably only about 40 to 45% additive to the actual product. So, you know, you basically go from the product to kind of like a light teal almost to a gray, or a gray to blue, basically. So really that all depends on what you're trying to print. But I wanted to show those off because those are more of a durable print that's going to be harder to break. So, but like I said, this is a nice additive for those who have brittle resins. This will probably be really good for people that are using water washable resins, because that type of resin has a lot of problems with durability. They are super brittle, and that's just because of all the additives that are used into water washable resins, that, you know, there's no way around it. You have to deal with that. So you either deal with the smell of alcohol or deal with water and having it brittle. So, you know, that's kind of the trade-off that you have with water washable resins. So at least as from what I've seen for printing. So, but that's pretty much it, guys. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them down below. I will reply back as soon as I possibly can. If you want to purchase one of these sidekicks, I will get a link, possibly a affiliate link. We'll have to see. I don't think they have that set up, but you can head over to www.3drs.store, and that'll take you to their website. They do have other resins that I've used in the past. And one of the other nice things about this is an American-based company. For all you people that like American, you know, supporting American companies, that's the other plus side to this is an American company. And from my experience working with them, they are willing to work with you on any aspect in terms of resin. Now, granted, there is the limitation of what they can do. They do not provide any water washable resins, so I'm just letting you guys know that right now. But they do have some really nice resins for very high detail. They do have a high durability resin. They have some hard resins. They have some fast resins. So they have a wide range of resins for all your printing needs. But this is just another additive, no pun intended, but yeah, that's another additive to just throw into the mix that they provide for people. And yeah, we'll have to do some more testing on this, but so far these printed pretty well, and they pretty much almost no change to the exposure times with these additives. So that's another plus side, is it didn't really change too much of the printing properties, at least on the Sonic Mini 4K that I printed these on. These are all the same printing exposure times and bottom times. Nothing has changed between these three models. All of these are exactly the same print times. So so that's really nice. I don't know if that's going to be the case on all printers, but at least on the Sonic Mini 4K, there was no needed to be changing the exposure times between these three. So that's another plus side. Again, your results may vary depending on where you are in the world, depending on what type of printer you're using. So You know, I'll just leave it at that, but at least for my printing purposes, nothing has changed on those models at all. So I hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them down below. And that's pretty much it, guys. Until next time, happy printing.